If you could do one thing differently in your BMX venture that you've done so far, what would it be?
Shit, that's a really good question. First of all, I don't live with regret because, no matter if I'm in a good position or a bad position, I'm learning something.
Yeah.
I don't take L's as losses, I take L's as lessons. I mean, there are things that I would do better. It'd be more attentive to the people around me, because I think I could have done a little bit better. A lot of people, like, when I came to the shop, and I didn't know who the hell they were. I didn't realize, even though I might have had interactions with them online, I know them on as their online persona, not as their real person. So yeah. I treat they were treated differently face to face because I didn't realize who I was talking to. I probably would have maybe reached out an olive branch to a few of the people that felt like the animosity was there.
Yeah.
But I was also butthurt too.
Of course. I mean, fuck, we're all humans, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's not really too much I would really change because it brought me here. I gotta meet the people like I gotta meet. I gotta make relationships. I gotta make. And great. They're always changing. I mean, look at us. Like,
yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, even compared to the first 503 BMX jam, like, it was a great jam. I was quite floored on how it turned out.
Dude, I will say that was an amazing jam.
Like I was not expecting that level. Everyone came together. It took me 3 months putting that together. Like daily work, talking to reps, talking to companies, figuring out this, figuring out that, and it came off like amazingly. And I could not have asked for anything more.
That was one of the funnest jams I've ever been to. So
but yeah, I mean, like, definitely, I know you and oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Your homie.
Are you?
No.
Jasper.
No.
D'Anthony. Yeah.
I know you and D'Anthony came into that jam to take everything.
That we did. We all did.
I knew that was the mindset, and I'm okay with that because you're gonna turn out that way.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna go show up and ride.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys did.
I was gonna say, actually it was a collective. It was me, Jasper, Wyatt, and D'Anthony. So those are all four of my buddies, and we came to take part, but really we came to take over. We wanted everything. That was our mindset going in, because that was before we had our talks. And as we obviously now know, the animosity that was between all of us for whatever reason was like, well, these dudes don't like us, so fuck it, we're here to take part, we're here to take over. We were on our Conor McGregor shit. We're not just gonna take part, we're taking over. And dude, and I think that was also what was the most fun, is because not only was it like a competition within ourselves and our buddies, it was like, it just created, as much as I said I hated the competition atmosphere, it created just a vibe of everybody giving it their all, and that's awesome. Because I do like the jam format over contest format. One run, 30 seconds, you're the only guy on the field. I think it's super dope. That's why I like the jam aspect so much more. Shout out to X Games Real BMX for doing that Rincon thing. That was amazing. You're back to back, and when someone does something sick, you're right behind them like, okay, now I gotta step it up. And that shit was awesome. And you created an environment for all of us to thrive in, and that was fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah. No, and that's what I wanted. I mean, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I might play stupid, but I'm not stupid. It's like I saw it, and I was okay with it. I'm because you guys were riding your asses off.
Yeah. Dude, I did so many tricks.
And you guys weren't necessarily like being verbally disrespectful.
Right.
You were there to ride and show that you are a better rider than the next guy.
Yeah. And
then you realized, oh, this is just fun. Like, yeah.
Dude, it was so fun. It was so fun. That jam format, dude, I'm taking that blueprint someday. Because that was one of the funnest jams ever at a skate park. There's never been a jam. Never been a BMX jam. And not a lot of people ride it like that. Not a lot of people put their all into that skate park because they're just like, it's a plaza. So that was awesome. I did so many tricks that day that I've never done in my life, and still haven't done to this day.
I mean, you already know. You already come to a lot of the things I put on. I try to do something different than everyone else.
Yeah.
In the same vein as everyone else.
Right.
Because, I mean, everyone goes to Glen Haven. Everyone goes to freaking, you know, Pier. Everyone goes, and like those are the parks that, okay, you have another jam then.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, they're great parks, and I'm not denying them. But, like, let's mix it up. Let's do something freaking. Let's put people out of a comfort zone and really see what's up.
Yeah. No shade to the Gresham kids, but I hate that skate park. I hate Main Street skate park, but when you threw the jam there, I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, because it's definitely an interesting skate park, and the locals there know how to ride it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Betty, like that, like my dude can freaking shred the shit out of that park.
Dude, so what's crazy was when that place first opened up, there's these kids. I don't know if you met them. It might have been before, like, your Gresham era.
You talking about Gabe and that crew?
I don't know, Gabe. I'm talking about Austin Johnson.
I met, yeah.
Why am I blanking on his name? But Marvin, Sprock, Austin, Jimmy, and those dudes. Dude.
Yeah, I met all of them.
Dude, they used to tear that park the fuck up, dude. That was their place, and I hated that park. I hated that park from the first time I went there. But that jam, a lot of the jams that you've thrown have given me a new outlook on the parks that we've gone to. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. You did the Ed one, and then when you started doing those jams for the belt, it was we would do all the undercover stuff. But you also you tried to do Happy Valley, that didn't work out, so we did Main Street or Gresham Park, and then Canby. So those are the 3 skate parks you've done, right?
Yeah. For the belt thing, because I did it twice at that covered spot. The first one was just a rail jam.
Yeah.
And then I brought all those features I freaking built. That was a pain in my ass.
I bet.
But it was something fun and unique. Like how many people can drag a skate park to a covered area? Like I wanted to do something different. Like, so that's like.
Well, it was definitely different. It was a new experience for, I'm sure, everyone in Portland, because, as you know, we get 4, if we're lucky, 5 months accumulative out of the year to ride. And so when you bring something undercover and you give us that extra day, that's awesome. And more incentive too. Like you were putting.
Well, then I did the Estacada jam with the volume dude.
Oh yeah,
that was a fun one.
That was an amazing one. That was an awesome one. I did some cool shit there too.
I wanted to ride a little bit more, but like my son and then Freddie couldn't MC to save their lives.
Yeah. So did a video ever come out of that jam?
No, we weren't really filming. Because at the time I had lost my camera and I was butthurt about not having cameras.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the new camera set up until I got here.
Yeah.
Where I wanted to revitalize my aspect of stuff.
Okay. Well, here's one more question then. What do you want to see from the new guys here in Idaho, and how are you going to help them either achieve their goals or just have the most fun possible in BMX? What is your plan for that?
Oh, that's easy. Obviously, I'm going to have a brick and mortar shop, because that's not something that they have here that's designated towards them, where Portland had multiple shops.
Yeah.
So give them a place where they can have that atmosphere, like going to a shop, chilling out for a couple hours, and like, oh, well, I'm going to work on my bike. Oh, and then we're going to go shred.
Yeah.
That is going to be a huge thing. Finding the younger kids, 8, 9, 13-year-old kids out there, you know, that are hopefully will look up to these drivers, these dudes that are out here right now, Shane, Gypsy, Angel, Melville, Rob, like all them dudes. So yeah, I mean, that's really the first thing. And then holding events, doing stuff like this, like any opportunity, like, yeah, and then just be me, be of service. That's one of my biggest things. And when people come into my shop and my home, it's like, I'm here to service you. I'm not the owner and the up here guy. I'd rather freaking like service you. What do you need?
Yeah.
Because that's going to make you feel a lot more comfortable, welcome, wanted, and needed.
Yeah.
In my space than me going, well, I'm the boss and don't do this and don't do that. You know, I'd rather like, what do you need to freaking do shit, cool shit.
Yeah.
And then as depending on who wants to do what, like, I mean, obviously I have some industry contacts. Like a lot of people like I can push them towards, and like, this is who you want to talk to, this is what they expect from you. You know, give them the insight that I've learned in the industry over the last 15 years.
Awesome. And now, prior to your era of, you know, where you're making babies and you're doing your stuff, where did you see yourself before that happening? Like, did you ever imagine yourself being where you're at today?
This is an unobtainable goal when I was there. This is a fantasy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have this shit. I really shouldn't. You know, when you're doing drugs and doing that shit, you're fantasizing about this. This was an unobtainable goal, and the relationship I had with my wife and the decisions my wife made to go to school and do this is what set us on the path to get this. Because then she graduated, she started making amazing amount of money, and around all that same time I got sober, then I found that I have self-worth and I have something to contribute outside of just being freaking a junkie and a drunk and you know, thinking highly of myself. I was able to change my mindset after I got sober, and you know, found AA and Alcoholics Anonymous and NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and actually like worked on myself for a good solid 5 years, and then I found my self-worth, and then able to let go of a lot of shit.
That's a fucking true inspiration, because I know a lot of people need to hear it, you know. A lot of people need to hear that, like, sometimes you're not what you do, you know. Sometimes you'll do shitty things, but you can better yourself and prove to yourself more so that you can be something that you're not now.
Yeah.
If you work towards it. That's all it really matters, is as long as you're working towards something that you want to do.
Yeah, the moment you stop is the moment you fail.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many times before I even opened up the shop that I could have stopped and said, all right, well, they're mean to me and they don't like me, so I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like fuck you. Like, that was my intent. Like, even friendships that I thought I had turned out not to be friendships. So Brandon at the Outer Rim gave me the first like industry job in the bicycle industry, like mechanic, like, because he saw and knew that I knew what I was doing, at least on BMX, and he taught me a lot of shit. He taught me how to build wheels. He's the one who taught me how to work on derailleurs. He's the one who, like, I learned from that man, and I could never take that away from him. But the problem was, it was becoming winter time, and he started getting weird before this. He thought that I was trying to take over his business, which is not even true. That's his business. I just was doing me. Yeah. And he was giving me an avenue to where people knew where I worked. So he was getting light also outside of, because my Instagram was blowing up at that time as well. Yeah. And so winter came along and he didn't have much work for me. So I was like, well, like, the lumberyard's busy right now. They're hiring for people. Like, I'll go work for them for the wintertime, and then in the summertime I'll come back and work for you. Yeah. And then just kind of flip back and forth and do some part-time here and there, do whatever. And so I was upfront, told them, like, this is my plan, this is what I'm going to do. Like, you don't have to stress about it as a business owner of, like, oh, I got to find work for this employee. Like, dude, I'll make it easy for you. Like, there's no hard feelings, there's no bad feelings. Yeah. And so I go to lumberyard, do that. So they contact Brandon, because obviously they had a working relationship also, being only a mile away from each other. And I come to find out that he badmouthed me as an employee, and that I was trying to take over his business, and I'm not a very good employee, I don't listen, and then that I'll try to take over their business. I mean, obviously they hired me regardless, and I proved my self-worth without asking for a single inch of rope. And then they started giving me rope, and then obviously, I mean, you saw what I did with the lumberyard. Yeah. Like.
So why do you think that was, and why did, correct me if I'm wrong, Will, was it, from the lumberyard? Yeah. Why do you think he gave you that chance?
Because, I mean, did you go to the lumberyard before I started working there?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So their retail area was some weird shape, like aisles were like this wide. They're just like shelves, like movable things. and they had their own history with shop guys, right? Like the first shop guy that they really gave a lot of trust to, freaking stole from them, like tens of thousands of dollars, and sold it on eBay to, whack shit. So obviously they were hurt, and they didn't trust people too much to give them too much rope to either hang themselves or make them money.
Yeah.
And so by the time I got there, Sean, was fucking cool ass dude and whatnot, was running the shop, but they weren't giving him opportunities to do anything different. And so I'm like, okay, and whatnot, and it's got to be frustrating to be the manager of a section, but the owners of the business don't give you the tools to do that. So there was a lot of frustration. Sean ends up leaving and going working with Shad for a little while. So they put me in that position. All I really did was like, I'm moving these shelves around to make it easier for people to come and look for the product they're looking for. And then I also engaged with the people and talked parts and talked with them. I mean, it was just a salesmanship. That's all it really was. Yeah. Just like, oh, hey, I'm looking for some new pedals. Or, hey, I'm looking for a new crankset. Yeah, we got these, cranksets. Oh, what about that one? Oh, that one's going to look sick on your bike.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Shit, I should buy that.
Yeah.
It was really just that simple at first.
Yeah.
And so they saw their shop profits go up. And they're like, oh, well, this guy's doing something. And then I never asked them. And then once after, 3-4 months of solid freaking work of just elevating their sales, they're like, oh, well, like, hey, I need access to these accounts. I need access so I can do these orders. Because at first I had to go to Michael and present him with a list of what I wanted to order. Yeah. He wasn't like going, oh, here, order whatever you want. So after, 6 months of that, then he gave me the trust of like, all right, well, here's a new computer. Here's access to everything. Like, here's some more rope. Basically, you're going to hang yourself or you're going to make us money. Yeah. I made the money. And I grew that shop, obviously. Yeah. I mean, there was a few times Michael about shit a fucking brick because I dropped 30 grand in a month. Damn. But the sales for that month would have been, just about or just over that. So there was a level of growth that was happening. It wasn't like I was just spending 30 grand and not, Yeah. But then the next month I would spend like 6 grand. So that product I bought that month for 30 grand would carry over for month and month, and so they were still making money, and then the cost would drop. So then that's where their profit would happen. That's just business. So. Right. Yeah.
So what was Lumberyard's downfall? Was there ever a downfall?
By the time I left January 4th of 2020. They had their best year in sales. They had their best year of attendance. They had their best year in summer camps and all those camps. Like they were actually really making a profit to where that the owners were able to make a true good living off of that business. The businesses take a while to make profit.
100%. Especially probably one of that scale.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine trying to herd 20 teenage kids to run the front desk when all they want to do is ride their bike? Yeah.
And on top of that, no indoor parks in Oregon have ever made it. Like, when do you ever hear of one still being around?
So so their downfall, it's really a perfect storm. So they got classified business as a theater or a bowling alley would be. So they were shut down.
Oh, really?
But they had the shop, and that's the thing. Like that frustrated me. I would have been pushing the shop because everyone was buying everything. Yeah. Like I would have been pushing the shop and the pizza. Like I would have been just like, okay, like I can't have people in the park, but I can have people come and shop. Yeah. I can have people come and like do delivery and get pizza. Like I would have freaking put pedal to the floor to push that out there on all social medias and just push and push and push. I mean, I sent people out there knowing that they had product that these people were looking for. And so I mean, so they just, I think it was just a stressful time. I mean, as an owner, like sometimes you get so deep into the trees you don't see the forest.
And COVID was stressful for everybody.
And then so when they came back, not everyone was used to riding indoors anymore. You had to wear masks. There was just so much like restrictions, and you know, people that ride bikes don't want those restrictions. They're riding a bike to have freedom.
And now they're not even giving out the vaccination anymore.
Well, they're giving them out, so.
Are they? I heard something recently.
They're just not mandatory. Like I still get commercials where, oh, get your COVID vaccine here and there.
That's ridiculous. That was a crazy time, man.
So, and then also their lease was coming up, and the owners of that building were like, well, at the end of COVID, everything was blowing up. Like, we can ask freaking, you know, X amount of dollars, twice as much as the lumberyard's paying us.
Yeah.
So they went to them and go, hey, your lease is coming up. Well, we want this much a month now. And the lumber's like, we just got set back 6 years because of COVID, like financially. Like we took a big donkey kick in the dick, and you're expecting us to pay more. Like, we can't do that. Let's work something out. Yeah. And get an extension. And so, like, the owners were like, no, we would rather have, you know, this. So it was just that perfect storm of freaking, yeah.
Well, hey.
And I'm sure there's a lot of rumors out there in Portland that are in regards to why they shut down.
Yeah, I don't know about too many rumors about why they shut down. I do know about rumors of why they started and how they started, and all hearsay, of course. Everyone, you know, I've never even done my own due diligence, but from, you know, maybe since you were involved with them, maybe you can give some insight on this. Is it true or false? Obviously, I don't want to put too much negativity out there, but did they get the local dirt jump shut down?
The grotto.
Yeah.
From what I was told from Will directly, no.
Okay.
So Will is a part of the Trail Alliance, and that handles, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what got Gateway Green built, and blah blah blah. So no, I think what Will said, no. I don't know anything about that. And Will and Michael didn't want a BMX park. That's not what they were building. They were building a mountain bike park.
Yeah.
Just that, obviously, BMX in Portland as an indoor park and as families made them money. Yeah. So they're like, well, I guess BMX is going to make us money, along with mountain bike and dirt jumps and all that other stuff as well. But that was never the full intent was to have a BMX park. Their intent was to have a mountain bike park, so Will could ride with his friends and hang out and have a park, like, you know, like yeah.
Glad we got that squared away, dude. I've been hearing that for so many years, and I was bummed on it. That's kind of why I boycotted Lumberyard. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean that goes to that freaking old head mentality. Yeah. Like, here's my experience with the grotto. I went there twice as a young rider. Yeah. And very green, very, you know, couldn't land shit. Like I was not like a very young. I was a very green rider, so case and shit. Like, it was not good. So I got very shitty feelings. Like, you know, there's the group of the cool kids hanging out over there and just mugging you the whole time you're riding. Yeah. That was never comfortable. That was never welcoming. That was never inviting. That wasn't. And so I love BMX. I've been riding it since I got my first BMX bike when I was like 10, 11. Yeah. Like, but yeah, so going to parks, the cool kids over here mugging you instead of going, oh, hey, come on over here, let me show you how you're doing. Like, I saw you doing that. Like yeah. So that had, and that's something why when I started doing this, I wanted to avoid. I wanted to present myself as something more of like, dude, like, I don't give a shit if the little kid freaking rides this Walmart bike, like, whatever, like I always try to give up daps when I'm at you know, to new people. I always try to, you know, say hi to them. Yeah. Introduce myself.
That's kind of my new thing too, is always just, you know, trying to incite the stoke wherever I go. Saying hi to everyone I meet, you know, and just introducing myself. And that's like a new thing that I've come across that really brings people alive, you know. Just letting them feel welcome. that no dig, no ride mentality, you know, that's an early 2000 thing. And even now, and you gotta understand, it's like the work that those people put in, that man hours for no return, is insane. You know, and just to be able to ride dirt. So yeah, I got the same shit when I was a kid, dude. Showing up to the grotto and chainsawing those landings, dude, they would always be pissed. But you know, just stepping up and.
But but that's like the mentality. Like you can, as an elder, you can go to them like, hey, like I see you having problems with this, do that. Like, oh hey, we're having a dig party. Come out this weekend and do this. Like get them involved so they understand what it takes to do that, instead of just like going, oh, look at these assholes coming into my jumps, tearing my shit up.
Right. And I think that's what Gateway has done differently, because it's more community based, and it's a lot of, you know, because it's a public park and it's sanctioned. Yeah. It's not the grotto, you know, where it's just slapped on some land. It's a sanctioned, you know, dirt jumping spot. It's sanctioned by the city, Northwest Trail Lines. Shout out to them for allowing that to be a part of our community, which is great. And that's what's different about it, is it's more inviting and it's more helpful to the younger generation and even the older generation to be like, we can ask for help nowadays. You know, we can post it and ask for help, and we can get, you know, the community to stand behind us and help us and get an excavator and this and that. Whereas when you're doing the you know, rogue trails, you know, you can't really post that, dude. You get the spot shut down and stuff like that. So then when you put in all that hard work and then people find out about it, you know, then that's what creates animosity. And it's cool now that we're, you know, getting shit rolling again, you know.
Well, I mean, that's the game going into it. You know that there's a huge possibility that these trails are going to get freaking bulldozed.
Oh yeah.
Like so you have to go in with that mindset and not like, oh, these trails are going to be here forever. Like, no, you go like, okay, they get bulldozed, we'll find a new spot, or we will rebuild these ones. Like, instead of going, oh, damn it, they destroyed all my hard work. Like, yep, that's the game. Just like freaking cops and robbers. Yeah. As a robber, your job is to get away from the fucking cops. Yeah. And as a cop, your job is to catch the robber. Yeah. Like that's just the game.
Yeah. And it's not concrete, dude. It's not there forever. You know, you can do what you can. Like, I know that recently, Posh got plowed. That's a very iconic dirt jump place. Forgive me, I don't actually know where it's at, but I think maybe it's Philadelphia, something. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. Again, ignorant about BMX, but yeah, they just got plowed. You know.
Well, I like the fact that you know, now there's a lot of dudes my age that have made something of themselves in life and are able to get land and build their own private freaking trail,
which is awesome. It's awesome, and that just builds the community even more. Just doing
as long as they, you know, are trying to be open and welcoming. I mean,
yeah. So what are you? Levi told me a little bit about what he's trying to do here as well, and are you involved in that?
To an extent. I'm not deeply involved, at least not right now. Yeah. I mean, if they got a spot, obviously I would probably open up my shop in their indoor bike park.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, so it's just kind of like where that is. He's doing the legwork. He's talking to people. He's getting committees together.
And shout out to him, dude. He from the first time I met him to where he's at now, you know, it seems like light years away. Like,
yeah, no, he's
his communication and his skills to just get everyone together is fucking unreal, dude. That dude is killing it, and shout out to him for just, you know, making his way in an industry. You know, he paid.
I mean, he'll even tell you himself, like he's basically a dirtbag freaking BMXer when he went to the lumberyard and started there. Yeah, and you know, he learned something from Michael and Will as a business aspect, and you know, as it should be. Like, we all need to learn every day. Otherwise, you're just going to be that old man screaming on your porch, "Get off my lawn!" Yeah. But if you sit there and go, "I'm still stupid and I still need to learn shit," you will freaking go to the fourth freaking dimension.
Yeah. No, exactly. And that's where I'm trying to do that mindset shift as well, where it's like, dude, I'm ignorant. So for me to even speak on BMX, it's hard. It's hard for me because I truly don't know. I don't know enough to speak about nothing. And I'm not trying to, ruffle any feathers. I'm just trying to figure it out. And if anyone is, accepting enough to allow me to figure it out on my own or help me along the way, I'm all ears, dude. I just want to know about my love more, and on a deeper, more intimate level, I want to hear about it from the people that have lived it. And who am I to say that they're wrong?
And it really doesn't take much to show that love, especially with the level of social media.
Yeah.
So like just being like freaking, like putting a comment in their post, like, dude, that was sick. Like that, like I've had people do that, pro writers, industry people, and then that is a freaking stoke of mine. Like, oh shit, they saw my shit, and they commented on my shit. Like, holy shit,
dude. And even for a kid too, that'll send you to the moon. I remember as a kid.
And so I try to do that. Like anybody that tags me in anything on social media, I'm really kind of over Instagram and social media. I do it as a business. If it was personal shit, you probably wouldn't even see me. But I always try to do that. Anybody that tags me in anything, I'll repost it. Like, if that's the easiest thing and simplest thing I can do to get somebody stoked, then why wouldn't I want to do it?
Yeah, exactly. Why the fuck not? Well, dude, it's fucking been great. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool.